Today is the morning of the last day, and I'm so happy to be almost done. I always feel like this on the last day. So we have a very long hike today. It's going to be another about 6 to 7 hours, and it's going to be a lot of uphills, also some downhills. There's going to be two what they call happy hours, and happy hours are when it's a very steep ascent, and then when you get to the top, you're very happy to get there. We're also going to have to be going very quickly because we want to get back to our original starting point by 12 o'clock. And I don't really know how that's going to happen. It's going to have to be fast. I'm going to have to really dig deep and keep up, which has been a struggle for me on this hike, just like every other one. The camp that we're at, though, is really nice. I'm going to show you around really quickly. This was the largest shelter that we stayed in by far. It had about 30 showers and over 200 bunks. It was also 3 levels high, and it was right next to a raging river that we got to listen to all night long. There are several bunks and several showers and several toilets and sinks, so that's nice to have running water. That's not always the case every hike, so it's kind of a luxury when you're out here. I know the showers don't look like much, but at the end of the day, when you've been sweating and hiking all day, any kind of shower feels like a luxury. So we have continued with the mules carrying our bags, and I don't even know how I thought that I was going to carry that big bag this whole way. I can barely do it without carrying any bags, so I'm very grateful for that. Having to carry that bag would have been impossible. I don't think that I would have been able to finish if I had to carry that bag the whole way. And my group felt the same way. That wouldn't have been safe, and it wouldn't have been a wise decision. None of us packed light enough to be able to carry that bag with us. So I'm just trying to get my mind right for today and just kind of stay in the zone and finish this thing up so that I can get back to that Airbnb and get to an actual good shower. So last day, here we go.
I don't think they heard me. The first time. So I gotta say it again for them. I ain't felt this good in a minute. Own it. I ain't trying to rent it.
The last hiking day was very demanding. It's always hard because you've already been hiking for so many days. You've been sleeping in uncomfortable beds, and your body is starting to break down. It's painful, but always I get to a point at the top where I can look around and be like, okay, this is why I'm doing this, because wow, look at this view. We made it back to the starting point before the appointed time. We got a big congratulations from our guides, and we were served lunch. The dogs were always begging for scraps. And then it was time to board the van and head back to Santa Marta to our new Airbnb. We just made it to the Airbnb, and I'm going to show you around. It's very, very nice. This Airbnb had indoor-outdoor architecture, and not only did we all have our own separate room and bathroom, we actually had our own separate floors. And the top floor, which was the 4th floor, had a rooftop pool. And of course, we had to enjoy that. Eventually, we got hungry and made our way out to the streets of Santa Marta. We found a great restaurant, and on the wall was a picture of the shaman overlooking us as we had our very last meal in Colombia. Okay, and the Lost City trek is done, and I can say that I really did enjoy this jungle hike. It was very different from the others. It was warm and very humid, and I can now admit that there were jaguars out in that jungle. Fortunately, I didn't see any, but I think that it's because I had this Grambling buff on, and we know that jaguars are scared of tigers. So that's probably why they stayed off the path when I was on there. But it was a wonderful experience actually being able to hike with a group. The group that I was with was wonderful. We really supported each other. We came together as a group, and actually today we kind of split up into two. And you know, when you're hiking, everybody kind of goes at their own pace. So sometimes I was alone, sometimes I was with a group of two, sometimes all of us were together. But today, for pretty much the whole day, it was Tanya and I, and then Justin and Dante. And Tanya and I were the last to arrive at the last point, but actually it wasn't because we were hiking so slow. We actually had the privilege of hiking with just Maria today. And so Maria is one of the guides. She was the female guide, and she was telling us so much about the indigenous culture and also the history of the indigenous people. And it was so many interesting little tidbits that we kind of slowed down so that the hike didn't end too quickly. And I will share some of that because I think it's really important to know how the indigenous people of Colombia connect to nature and how they believe that everything is part of nature, that we are part of nature. And I mean, that is true, but just the way that we're a part of nature is super fascinating. So I'm looking forward to telling that story, but I'm so exhausted right now that I don't think I would do it any justice. I'm also so appreciative to you for following along and also encouraging me. I don't think I'll realize how much that does for me when I'm out there in these ridiculous situations. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that last night, two of the guys, I think they're from Poland, they had a tarantula. They saw a tarantula in between their beds at the last shelter. So we saw snakes, we saw tarantulas. None of us saw a jaguar, but they were definitely out there. So we were told that they usually stay back from the trail and don't bother humans unless they are threatened. So I was glad not to see a jaguar, but thank you again for following along, and I will see you next time. Bye.